Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. It is another glorious Tuesday evening in Zamunda, and you already know how it is about to go down. We're going to bring you that show with the content that you have come to love and enjoy. And hopefully, you walk away enriched each and every week as we bring you the information, the conversation, and the joy tsunami that you need in your life. Before we get it started, I want to go ahead and familiarize you all with the conversational flow and how it's going to happen on this evening. First, of course, I know y'all saw the little flyer that the Lord had gave me the vision to create. Well, y'all already know we have another spectacular guest interview scheduled for tonight. Of course, we're going to go merrily down the stream and, of course, get it lit with that conversation in what's really going on. We're going to receive yet another reflection of purpose from our very own in-house master life coach, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads LLC. So let us not delay the hour. Karen, how you doing?
I am doing all right. You know, it's something about getting ready for this show and knowing that we about to sprinkle all the sprinkles of glitter and having the joy tsunami that just kind of builds it up. Because, you know, the day itself, I wasn't sure. We kept the body count at 0, but it was questionable. That's what we're going to say for that. And then I got on here and it's like, we about to bring on our very special guest, and I'm here connecting with you, Tilted, and with our people. And I think everything's going to be all right.
Now, if I was to quote the matriarch of our faith family, the Reverend Dr. Pastor Juanita Davis, it's already all right, okay? So yes, thank you so much, Karen. Yes, listen, it's already all right. You know, thank you again for sharing the healing journey that you're walking through with your son and with your family. I know that the testimony is blessing somebody's life, and as they're walking through their own situation. I know one thing that I've received, even with something as simple as a common cold, you need to walk in the assurance that Jehovah Rapha is going to be exactly who he is. And for those of y'all who don't understand, Jehovah Rapha, the Lord God, my healer. The healer is going to remain faithful to his children. And the last time I checked in the good book, healing is the children's bread. So, you know, not for nothing, you one of God's favorite children, Karen. So I look forward
I
to
do
the...
say that. Yes, I'm spoiled.
Yes, you are spoiled. Blessed by the best. Girl, I'm starting to feel something in my shanana. We getting started kind of early, girl. So listen, for those of you who are tuned in, I want to go ahead and say welcome again to the Unhinged Radio Show Live, and to our replay viewers. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you've already subscribed, hit the like button, and of course, hit the notification bell so you all can be notified and receive something to remind you that we are actually live and in the building. Okay, so y'all already know. I absolutely enjoy celebrating those of y'all out there in these Tilted Halo Tribe streets. So many of our fans, so many of our supporters. Week after week, I stand truly amazed at the positive feedback that we're receiving from so many of you. And y'all already know, I want to go ahead and get it out the way. I want to go ahead and acknowledge our super fan of the week. Let me get this drum roll. All right. Our super fan shout out this week goes to the beautiful queen, Miss Sharice Kearns. Now, some of y'all might notice her name flowing in the group as she responds to a lot of our engagement posts. Sharice is a very good friend of mine. We friends for upwards of 20 years, and it's safe to say that we have absolutely grown up together. We've shared many, many memories where I'm certain she can attest to what I'm getting ready to say. I know she's grateful that social media and cell phone cameras weren't the thing while they're doing what we do. Honey, ain't no evidence. But girl, we have those memories. So I just want to say thank you for keeping up with me all these years, for all of your love, all of your support. I want to go ahead and give you a huge hat tip, sis, for all the effort you put into being a successful queen. In raising a young queen yourself, you've managed to rear and steer an amazing young woman who was off to college herself. And I'm pretty sure she is just as brilliant as she is beautiful, as she is, of course, an apple that hasn't fallen too far from the tree. So shout out to you, Sharice. We love you. We thank you for your support. And we hope that you continue to walk in God's best. All right. So, Karen, is there somebody at the door? We try not to be rude. We expecting guests tonight. I think I see somebody.
Absolutely. We got to knock at the door, and I think we're going to let some a special guest in, a very special guest in. You ready for me to open the door? I want to make sure you
Yeah, you got a little beverage for the guests. Yes, 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 yes,
Oh,
yes.
that part. All right.
All right. Oh, hey, girl. Hey.
Hello, my dear sisters. How you doing? I'm here.
We doing all
I
right.
made it.
We're so happy that you have made it and you agreed to join us on tonight. For those of you who are tuning in, oh my gosh, it is an absolute privilege and honor to introduce you to tonight's guest. She is our sister, not only in faith, but also in the craft. And when I tell you she will pray heaven down, sis truly got it going on in the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
And one thing that strikes me as extremely extraordinary about tonight's guest is we had the opportunity to meet her not too long ago, but it was a connection that seems as if we've known each other for a lifetime. The way she supports others is truly amazing. Y'all think I'd be out here spreading glitter. Baby, that one right there is truly sunshine. So without further delay, free of the Simply Free Little Talk Show, we want to go ahead and welcome you to the show tonight. Free, how you doing, sis?
I am wonderful. I'm so honored to be here with my sisters to have a wonderful chat with you guys. I'm ready for the topic. I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. Well,
did you see I dived right in? I was diving right in.
I love it. As we get into the topic, one of the things that we wanted to highlight, and we'll talk more about it, but we wanted to be intentional because this month is Women's History Month, and we want to be connecting and talking to women who are doing the things not just that are necessary, but are game changers. And so, as we celebrate with Free this month, we're celebrating kingdom promotion and expansion and all of the places that you'll continue to see her, as Free has just celebrated her 1 year anniversary not too many weeks ago, last month, of the diligent pursuit that she has been on with not just the launching, but the elevation and expansion of the Simply Free Little Talk Show. And so we're super excited to be here, to be able to have you on this platform, not only while we celebrate with you, but while we share some nuggets and some moments of wisdom, because we know you got it over there, because we got our own nuggets that you've given to each of us. So we're going to share her with you all today, because at any given time, we can either get into the text messages, the phone calls, or wherever we might find a word of encouragement or just see the amazing connections that you continue to bring to those who follow you on your platform. So we put our hats off to you as one, and our first person that we are celebrating during this Women's History Month.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are absolutely welcome, Free. So let's get it popping. Can you tell our audience a little bit about who you are first as a woman
Okay.
who is making history herself? You got some kids, girl? You got a dog, cat, house, car?
Ooh.
Talk to me.
Oh, let me talk. She said, "You have some kids." Yes, I have three. All three are, well, the first one, the oldest one, let's say, is already the adult, out of the house, on her own, married, child, the perfect situation that you want for your child. And the youngest two are still home, but they are almost out the door. You hear me? I'm pushing them. Y'all felt that push?
Oh, yeah. Not yet
And
now.
mother is enjoying her life. Mother is enjoying her life. But you asked about who I am as a woman. As a woman, I am daily evolving, learning who I am more in God, with knowing that I've entered into the blueprint for my life. Because I asked him, what is your plan for me? We all quote Jeremiah 29:11, and it says he knows the plan you have. But if you don't know the plan, how are you going to work the plan? So I had
I know that's right.
I had to ask him, what is my plan? And since I've worked the plan he laid out on the blueprint, oh, it works. It's absolutely foolproof. Yes.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am. Look, we've sat in many sanctuaries, chapels, Sunday school rooms,
Mhm.
workshops, what have you. And we already know that the steps of a righteous man are truly ordered by God.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure it's the shared sentiment of everyone on the platform. Like, God is my business partner. I got to consult with him
Oh,
about every move I make, every breath I take, and everything I plan to implement. We plan to implement here on the show because we recognize that there's power in the platform.
mhm.
Um, and with that power comes awesome responsibility. So we do our best to ask God for the instructions and to follow the blueprint.
Follow
Indeed, indeed.
the
Karen, do you have a question for our guest tonight?
I started off talking a little bit about that kingdom promotion. So, Free,
Ah,
can you share just kind of a little bit with our listeners on how consistency and diligence has played a part into your longevity over the past year, and then sort of what are you into getting into, or where else can you with your Simply Free little talk show?
well, I'm gonna go back to what was it, about 5 months ago or something? You guys interviewed me, and I was saying, well, I can't tell you everything of what's going to happen, but as a result, we were in negotiations back then for a international radio station contract, for a local radio station contract, and now all of that is manifest. And there's some other things coming forth with television now and magazines and just other things that God is doing that I can't disclose now, just some collaborations. So what I would say, you mentioned diligence, consistency. That's what kept me afloat. That's what's going to always keep any business, any endeavor you do. If you consult the King of Glory, I don't care who falls away. I don't care who say they're not going to support. God already have rams in the bush. Did you hear what I say? I say rams in the bush. And he will raise up
Okay.
the right individuals, the right circumstances, whatever you need. It's already lined up. You just have to work the plan.
I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Listen, that's about three words right in there as we talk about diligence, consistency, and you started off earlier by saying you asked God, Lord, what's the plan for me? Because many of us are out here. We love that term. I'm chasing a bag, but we got to
Mm.
figure out which bag do you think you're chasing? Because honey, if it's not the bag that's leading you down the path that God has set for you, you know what you're gonna get? Yeah, you're gonna get a bag full of nothing. So you got to be careful on, you know, a lot of these today phrases and how they show up in the different areas. But we're super excited to know the things that you can share. And that's one thing we know. Free is always up to something with the Lord. So as you follow him, we know it's always a preview, a trailer, something else that's coming down the pike. And we are excited for you. We're excited.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it's so good to have the support from my sisters like that and to encourage me to continue on my journey, because this is my journey. It's no one else's journey. I'm not in competition with anyone, and no one is in competition with me, because it's about what I choose to yield and be what he said for me to be. Yes.
That's a
I know that's
thing.
right. Most definitely, most definitely. And I really appreciate what you shared about consistency, actually the both of you. So I have a question in reference to that. Because you know, every day is not always high, high, glory, glory.
Mhm.
Sometimes we open our eyes and we don't necessarily see the sunshine. Sometimes we all we can see is gray clouds looming. Make an attempt to hover. So when you wake up in the morning, Free, you have those kind of mornings. What do you do to encourage yourself?
Oh, that's an excellent question, and I'm excited to even answer that to help someone, because there are some days I lay in bed, I say, really, we got to do this. This is what's on the agenda. Lord, I need your help. You know, outside of just my routine, and I don't like to say ritualistic practices, because if Father wakes me up 2 hours before I normally say I'm going to get up for prayer, then that's a routine change for him. There's an appointed time there. So I would say when I get up on those days that I don't physically feel like it, I may even be challenged spiritually that day to get in his presence. And so I have to cry out to him. It's just like I asked for the plan. I still have to say, I need your strength, because today in mine, I'm not able to get up, or I don't feel like getting up. So yes, the adversities come, you better cry out even the more. So that's what I have to do. I have to cry out, Father, I need you. Come on, angels. I have to talk to my angels. Come on, angels. I need you to help me today. I need you to block whatever it is that's trying to attack me. And then I say, Holy Spirit, now come on, I need you to lead, because it's the power that's working on the inside of me. Come on, I need some help today. I need some help.
And you know what? I love that. Okay, especially what you just the last part of what you just said, it has the most power, I promise you. What was it? I need some help.
I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
Send me some
So
help.
check it out. Send me some help. Send me some help. I need some help. 4 words that leave room for the Holy Spirit
Come on, that's
to
it.
come in and honor your request, right? Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Greater is he. Interesting that even in this analogy, come through a download, even in this analogy,
it's a download happening right now.
Even looking at my hand and those 4 words, if he goes before you, he's more than the world against you.
Oh,
right?
Do that again.
He's got you covered. He's got you covered. Right? Oh, come on.
He's got me covered. He's got me covered.
So those of you, listen. I got to give that one to you, okay? Because when the glitter come, I got to stay in it. So for those of you all who may be experiencing those moments when you wake up and you're feeling a little down because eggs are still $5 for 12, perhaps in a demographic where you might live, and gas prices may not be as comfortable as you would like to pay, lift your hands and surrender.
I'm lifting mine.
And surrender. Wow. That's a physical act you can do. Surrender, because he got you covered.
That's it.
All right. All right. So look, thank you again, each and every one of you, for tuning in. Of course, I'm sitting here and I'm paying attention to what's going on in these here chat streets. And I want to go ahead and say thank you and welcome again to those of you who've tuned in. I see my good girl, Anna Werner. That is Miss Shade, Miss No Shade, but Shade, the comedian herself. And she's also my birthday twin, y'all. I also see the lovely songstress, Miss Val Marie Higginbottom. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey,
And then also see Linda Amerson joining us on tonight.
Hey,
Thank you so
Linda.
much for tuning in. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you are on YouTube. Okay, Minister Leonise Marie Tyler. Hey, girl, thank you so much for joining us and always keeping us covered by your prayer. Feel the frequency flowing from your direction, and we truly
Mhm.
appreciate you. So yeah, we done wrapped up the majority of the interview portion of the show with our sister Free. Little before we transition into this next topic of discussion, I want you to tell our listeners where they can find you, follow you, and make sure that they lend their support to the work that you're doing right there out of Texas.
Well, I will definitely put it in the comments so they can follow. On Monday nights, the local radio station close to Galveston, Texas, which is Houston's radio station, you can find me at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 in Eastern Standard Time on the Lounge Soul Cafe. At 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can find me on Envision Broadcasting Radio Station. That's an international radio station. Every time we have a guest, that guest comes on and share information. On the virtual show, Simply Free Little Talk, you can find me Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all of the other platforms that you can find me on Twitter. I send it there as well. So I want to thank you guys for this opportunity. It's
No
always a
diggity,
pleasure.
no doubt. We ride, and we done got up in this eagle nest together, and
Yes,
as we pray for one another's vision, and it's just
yes,
amazing
absolutely.
how we've been manifesting so much goodness related to our businesses in this season. So speaking of seasons, we already know that we some fabulous queenagers sitting here on this evening,
Teenagers,
and
yes, you are.
those of y'all in the listening audience who are familiar with the show, y'all already know we often make reference to our adult children. And many of us have adult, every last one of us got at least one adult child. And at least one of us is experiencing empty nest syndrome. So I just kind of wanted to, have a, edges laid back conversation with my good
Yeah.
girlfriends on tonight. And just to get what your thoughts and what you've been experiencing as your children have, spread their wings and fled the nest. They grown now. How do you parent your grown children? Are you one of them hover parents that expect your children to call you every single day? Are you one of them hover parents, even though they done walk out the front door? Are you one of those hover parents that expect your children to basically give a progress report on every moment of the grown behind lives? Talk to me, sisters. Do y'all let them go so that they can grow? And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor to tonight's guest
Okay.
about your experience is Free, and your tactics on how you continue to love on your adult child.
Uh, mm. Now I have it easy and made. I call it easy peasy street with the eldest. That girl there is so independent. I don't have to worry about her. I may have to call and track her down. Are you in the country now or what? You never know where she may be. But the youngest two, that's a whole different story, a whole chapter to another book. The artist is 20 and she's still home, but she says, I'm an adult. Okay, you an adult. Let me treat you like an adult. Bills are due.
come
There's
on,
water, there's gas,
come on.
come on, there's water, there's gas, there's electricity, there's cable, and they want to holler about one cell phone bill. Oh, no, no, no. You got some other things you need to take care of because you use all of that. So the
Yeah.
son, it's his senior year, so I'm a little bit more lenient. But because he's working, yes, you need to pay. But he's actually the best one. The other two are the girls. The son he's ready to give his money. He's ready to, have that independence to help mother. So he's not the one I have to worry about when it comes to shelling out the money. In fact, he feels like I earn this now. Let me break you off some.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So do they call you for advice free?
Oh
Does
wow.
your oldest call you for
My
advice?
son
Or
has to
do they
listen
still
to
listen
his.
to your advice?
Now, the oldest one does. She really will. But of course, she wants to give mother advice as well. That's Miss Independent, like I said. Read everything, constantly reading. She's an avid reader. And so, of course, she has to give me advice. But yeah, she will take advice. The 20-year-old, oh, she's well, until she's in crisis. Then, of course, I'm the wisdom then. Y'all been there. We've had our conversations. I've shared conversations about that.
Woo!
Crisis mode. I'm wisdom teacher number one. Class is open. Session 101 is open. They want to hear then. Crisis mode.
So funny, so funny.
It
You know,
is
I
crisis
gotta
mode.
pull in on this side because I remember once upon a time, and so my middle son Joshua, he would put money in my drawer, and I promise you, every time he got paid, he would put $20 in at a time,
Okay.
and it'd be a stack of 20s in there because I'd leave them in there just so I could look at him, be like, oh, look, God bless him, Lord. Oh, look what he's doing for his mama. So when I moved here to North Carolina, I promise you I missed my drawer of $20 bills.
I know
I
you
told him
do.
he needs to send some. And then he said, no, you grown now. You can handle
The tables turned
you
on
can
you.
handle life without my $20. But we often talk about the highlights of raising
Mhm,
children and all of the things that come with it. But Hunty, when
mm,
they get grown and step into adulthood and want the privileges of adulthood, but maybe may not be ready for the full
mm.
responsibility of the title of being grown, that always comes with a other landslide or
Yes.
landscape of different things that they don't want to hear from us except for when they need to hear from us. So I have to say, I've got a few of my children who will call and say, Mom, I'm about to make this move and I need you to, approve and kind of get your eyeballs in it so that we know what it is. And then there are others who are like, I don't want you in my business. I don't want you to know about it till after it's done. No, but they will. I will say
Yes.
this. They will. Sure enough, call up and be like, Ma, I need you to pray for me. I'm
Oh,
doing such and such. My foot is in the water and it's hot over here.
yes.
I need you to pray for me. That's something they will not withhold. But the rest of it, I don't always hear like, oh, I'm looking for a new job. It's like, oh, I started a new job 2 weeks ago. Wait a minute. Wait. These are things like it's a list of things that you're supposed to tell your mama because I'm out here talking about you. You got me lying out here about
Come
what you
on. Tell me.
help me tell the truth. So I done told them, like, if they don't keep me up to date, I'm gonna make it up because it's on, and I'm gonna put it on social media because once it's social media official, they can't take it
It's
back.
They
official.
can't take you
Sure
back.
They
They
can.
can't take
tell
you back.
me what's going on. So here's the best part about my empty nesting, and I tease about this. When it was time for me to go, I prepared the children, let them
Mhm.
know, listen, this last one about to graduate high school. Y'all got a couple more years of me sitting in this spot, and then that time will be no more. And so I didn't throw nobody out. I let them stay right where they were. I
See?
packed up my boxes and my bags, and I left them right there. Said, listen, Mama leaving. She going to
Mhm.
North Carolina. Turn the lights out when y'all done. Okay?
She said, "Turn the
That's how
lights
that
out."
was done.
Lights
Everybody
out.
else be like, oh my goodness. That my time was up. I tried to prepare them as much as I could. Joshua
Mhm.
went around, told people he was an orphan because his mother left him. Now, mind you, when I left, he was 25. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
I
So,
already understand. Already understand. Understood.
But there's layers to this and you know, I gotta kind of give a blame to the elders, okay? I gotta say it that way because the elders, they knew from dealing with us what we was going to have to. They knew, and I don't know about y'all too, but then no, none of the elders tell me nothing to prepare with me for this new phase of parenting. Adult
It
children.
is a new
Not named one didn't say, you know.
Wow.
They didn't say nothing to me. Maybe they gave some nuggets to either one of you. So I'm gonna ask, did either one of y'all get nuggets? Because I missed the nuggets. Maybe I was. You got nuggets?
Yeah, I'm grateful that I got some nuggets before I became an empty nester. Shout out to the mothers of the church. You know, the ones that still wear slips and have the for prayer. Shout out to the mothers of the church for keeping it 100 with me at all times. The advice that I got before I entered the land of the empty nest was that I should get busy being busy while my children were still in the home. This way, I didn't go through bouts of depressions or I can't let go syndrome. This day they decided to leap up from up under my roof. It's interesting. You know what? It's been about 9 months, about 10 months now that I've been an active, all in it for real, empty nester. And you know, I was all right because I wasn't home anyway. I was out here busy, so I really didn't go through the meat of the empty nester syndrome as the hard part of it. And you know, I want to give a huge shout out to my girlfriend, of course, who will unfortunately have to remain nameless. I did not get her permission to use her name on the show for this topic on tonight. You know, she was sharing with me some of the things she's been dealing with as an empty nester, as she's watching her girls or feeling like her girls are starting to pull away from her. And, you know, again, I was prepared by the mothers of the good old Church of God in Christ for my children to leave the nest. All right. So, you know, I didn't necessarily, I raised my babies to fly anyway. So I raised my birds to fly. So they out there, they you know, and I gave them some wisdom nuggets, some knowledge and some information before they left the house. You know, I taught him how to cook first and foremost, how to read a recipe, knowing that you don't necessarily need to call the Chinese food restaurant. If you keep certain things in your cabinet, you can recreate any dish you can purchase outside them doors in order to preserve your budget. You know, checks and balances. I actually remember having a check writing session with Linnea. I still write a check every month.
You and
at
Lamont.
least one.
You and Lamont.
You know, say, hey, shout out to my baby. I still write one check a month for a specific paper trail. You ain't gonna come for me, and I ain't gotta talk. I'm about to lay out this documentation. That's what we finna do.
So you guys in contracts?
In contracts?
Mm-hmm.
With your children?
Yes. While
they are yet living in the home?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the two.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I sure do. Yes, they may not necessarily be written contracts.
Yes.
But a verbal contract is sufficient because not for nothing, we're all administrative, gifted in that area. Yes. Ain't much we gonna forget, especially when it comes to the coin. These grown behind children or the younger ones with jobs are supposed to kick it. We ain't gonna forget that conversation. Because like you said earlier, Free, lights, gas bill. Y'all like this internet, don't you?
Right.
Run me my money. So what about you? What contracts have you had to enter? Miss Free.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
What was your contract that you entered with your child? What's going on with that contract?
Entering my home. There's a certain time. Monday through Friday. Well, Monday through Thursday, you have a certain Sunday. What is it? Sunday through Thursday. And then the weekends, we have a certain time. And then when I'm not home, we have certain rules. Yes. You must
Okay.
abide by them.
Okay.
Yes.
You want your house still standing when you return.
Yeah, I need to know that the house is going to still be standing when I return. I just want to make sure the house is still standing.
All valuable information.
Now the middle child is the most responsible. She's the most responsible. So she's the little mother who's gonna oversee. Yeah.
Is she gonna tell on everybody? Is she gonna tell?
Oh, no, she is going to the grave with her.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Look, wait. Let me write this down.
Snitching. She don't know anything about snitching.
Look. I'm writing. This is the note I'm making about your middle child. What's her name again?
Larissa.
Larissa?
Yes, Larissa.
Larissa.
She gonna see it.
Larissa is a thug. Here we go.
That's a compliment for her.
She's a thug. She ain't telling. She a thug. She a whole thug. Because she realized early in life that snitches get stitches and end up in ditches. And she's not trying to go there.
Yes.
Well.
Yes. She tells nothing.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know. Now I know.
Everything.
Okay. That's how I don't say nothing. The streets be talking.
The streets have ears and eyes to see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I had a client of mine install some cameras in some hidden places.
Oh, okay. There's a nugget for all of you parents in the audience. All right, cameras in hidden places.
Audio, video. Get the video and the audio.
Look, come straight to your cell phone. Come straight to your cell phone.
Oh Lord, listen, all of these are super good. Okay, so listen, y'all know y'all gotta go into contracts. You know you gotta have, and I need to tell you that I had verbal contracts with my children from the time that they were like 8 and 9, so they understood the path. It's bills up in here. How might you be contributing? And still to this day, my youngest son will tell you he would pay his phone bill, and the only number he knew was his grandparents. But when he would call, they would ask him, "Do your mother know that you calling me?" And Lamont's answer would be, "I paid my phone bill this month. I get to call you." So, okay, the children understand the limits that you set. So parents, maybe you got a teenager and you thinking it's getting close. They might be sophomores or juniors and you like a couple more years and I'm going to remodel that whole room like they were never here. Okay, maybe that ain't your entire testimony. But take some of these nuggets that you have heard and figure out how you mold that into a size to fit your child or children. So chicks, chickens, whatever, your children, to make sure that you're ready for the shift. Because here's the biggest part. And I'll say that, one thing is, as you get yourself busy, somebody gave me permission that I didn't think that I needed. So this, she wasn't really a mother of the church, but she was a mother who had gone through the whole empty nesting with her and her family. And she said, listen, a lot of times women and men too will be waiting for somebody to tell them it's okay for you to go to the next level. So we just want to let y'all know, y'all got them children, y'all sitting there trying to figure out what the next step is. The first step is to give yourself permission to live a life after you have raised them children. Okay, they lived, they did not die, and they get to tell of the glory of the Lord. Celebrate that, give yourself some permission, and keep on going, y'all. It's still life after the children. Okay, we call that AC over here. After the children,
that's life AC.
Wow, that's good. Wow,
I like that. Life AC. Life after the children.
Right. And
and
then the
you know,
BC is before the children. I don't remember much about that, but you know. And I know we had you
yeah.
for a
Wow.
little while you
Yes.
are going down the soul train line for the kingdom and doing all of the work. But we're super excited that you got to spend some time here
Yes.
us today to share your nuggets, to share just the brightness that we always get when we spend time with you. Listen, we share it free
Thank
with
you.
y'all today, but we get this sunshine
Yes.
all the time, all the time.
Oh, I love you too so much. Thank y'all. I'm honored to have been invited and glad I got to spend this time. But yes, I'm gonna reiterate before I get off. Get you some contracts written or verbal. You need those contracts with kids. We have to get in with all thou getting, get understanding.
Mm.
See, because when I come at you with something and I cut you off with something, I have my proof. This is the contract. This is the day we signed this. This is the agreement we had, and you broke that.
There you
I
go.
love it. Write the vision and make it plain.
Listen,
Definitely. More than technology. Use your cameras. Get your camera footage. you
cameras
said,
and
you
sound.
said,
I
sir,
heard that.
you said no one was here? Really?
Video and audio. Y'all got that?
Bam! Right?
I love it. I love it. It has helped, trust me. It has helped a lot. Yes.
Like, now state your case again, ma'am, sir.
You say what?
Love you so much, Free.
I love it. Thank you guys so much again for having me. I know I have to go. Love y'all.
For sure.
We'll talk soon.
Love you.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye. And
Bye.
thank you, listening audience. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Sometimes we got to answer the knock at the door when it comes because we're super excited, but we never know. We never know what in the world will come, when we continue to allow our friends that are in the neighborhood to come on through with their nuggets. Val, you already know. You already know. I know you still got a house full over there. So them contracts, they matter.
Yes, contracts matter. And so check it out. We mentioned it at the top of the show that is actually Women's History Month.
Yes.
And tomorrow is actually International Women's Day, right? So, I'm trying to do a little pre-show research so I can get on here and act like I know what I'm talking about. So, of course, we always like to celebrate what's going on month to month because they making up holidays each and every single day.
You said it.
And girl, look, let me tell you, I found out another holiday that's happening in another country. They actually observe National Sleep Day, Karen. Hey, I'm sorry. That day's got the anointing all over it. Yes. National Sleep Day is actually March 18th, y'all. Just so you know, I believe they are acknowledging that, if memory serves correctly. Y'all go on out to the Googleations and fact check this for me, and come on into the Unhinged with Tilted Halo group and just make sure I'm telling y'all the right thing. National Sleep Day, I believe, is observed in Sweden.
Okay.
All right. So y'all already know that I am the in-house captain of the NAP ministry. I take my orders directly from the Lord and I lay it down whenever I have the time. A power nap is a very, very, very good friend to me. We are close acquaintances, power nap and I. So in this moment, while we're celebrating Women's History Month, ladies, while y'all out there trailblazing, making things happen, making things do what they do, always make time to rest. Now, that might sound like a foreign concept to so many of us. I'm going to go ahead and lump myself into this piece of the conversation. It might sound foreign. You might think if I lay it down, if I stop, it won't get done. Let me encourage you right now in saying that the devil is a liar. It's going to get done, But a lot of the things that we embrace that keep us continually stressed out are things that are okay. They can wait. The world's not going to end. So take some time to rest. You can't be your best if
Yeah.
you're tired to the point of almost lunacy. Your body needs time to replenish. Even if you
Hmm.
don't go to sleep, we said it, lay down, meditate, center yourself, focus, pray. But take some time, women, all right? Again, we understand you got that W on your chest. We get it. But rest so that you can continue to cement your legacy, all right? In a healthy fashion.
Yes,
How about that?
I love that. I love it all together. Listen, and as we continue, as Tilted already said, tomorrow is International Women's Day, and you want to be thinking about how are you intentionally showing up, not just in support of women in an international sense, but right in your corner, right around your world. What is it that you can do to? And one of the hashtag is embrace equity. And so, how can
Yes.
we embrace equity? And a lot of us, we understand the whole purpose of this International Women's Day is to highlight some of the social and economic choices that we make and how that kind of unfolds in front of folks for celebrating women's achievements and increasing visibility, while we can call out any inequality that we might see. That's kind of one of the key purposes of what keeps fueling the Women's Day and the International Women's Day and the Women's History Month, because we know that one, there are a lot of inequities that we want to really be focused on, but it's not anything that we can handle overnight. But as we've already heard, if we kind of put one foot in front of the other, we will find that there's an army of us that can support each other. And I love it because the whole embrace inequity, you'll see a lot of the what we call these, the media photos and the media kit. It's about women embracing themselves. And so if you start with you, we ain't gonna give you no reflections of purpose yet. It come to the huge embrace as your employee, you will find ways to ensure that not only are you making sure that things are equitable in your corner, but across the globe. And honestly, that's one of those that's what's up moments for support each other. That
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think that's some more. I think we got some more ratchetness coming up because there's that segment that you might want to take a sip of your water right now before
Yes,
before we
ma'am.
go on the way. Is your you you already good there?
Hold on.
Yeah. I
Thank you,
don't
sis.
want to move us prematurely. I want to give us time to get to where we is going.
Okay, we're ready.
All right.
It's time, y'all, to point your remote control at the TV screen. Merrily, 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 find something to stream or listen to. Yeah, y'all already know what it is. We going merrily down the stream on tonight, and baby, 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 prepare to get your chuckle on.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
listen, listen. I was thoroughly engulfed in all things comedy this past weekend. I don't know about you, Karen. But we already know that Chris Rock actually this historic with Netflix this
Yes.
past weekend. He went live. This is the first time a comedian did his bit live, broadcasting on Netflix. Definitely groundbreaking opportunity for Chris Rock, especially after what he had lived through on last year. Not the girl. Listen, I listened to that thing. Actually, I like to review the tapes 3 times because jokes on jokes and jokes. And a comedian at his level, of course, sometimes you might have to find 4, 5 different chuckles out of this listen to the replay, vocal inflection and everything. I must say, Chris Rock honestly showed up and showed out on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he solidified why he is recognized as one of the greatest comedians to ever hit the stage.
Oh
Of
yes.
course, y'all already know we met him, or actually fell in love with him, as he referenced it. We fell in love with him actually as Pookie in New Jack City. Our favorite crackhead. Wouldn't you agree, Karen?
I totally agree. Listen, we was praying for Pookie that we wasn't even wanting to support the crackhead habit that he had going on, but we was yet praying for Pookie all of these years, and then he went on to bigger and greater, and to celebrate him is an amazing thing. But now Chris is similar to many of our today's comedians because they bring up some things to make us laugh, but to also make us think about the condition of the world. And so, I came across one thing that he said a couple of times that in my laughter, I had to stop chuckling, and that disturbed me a minute because I was like, all right, Chris, like hold up, like you calling people out, like, okay. Now he started his segment off by saying, I'm going to not offend anybody. That's how he started. That's
How it started.
That's a big order to say. I'm not going to offend nobody. Whereas, I don't know. I ain't gonna say, I don't know who might have got it. It was a couple of people that could have been offended, but one of the words that he kept saying was selective outrage. And that stuck with me. That kind
Yes,
of
me
brought me
too.
out of my laughter, and like, hold up, you trying to be smart out here. Listen, Chris, jokes only, okay? But it was the way that he put it was a joke, but it was one of those like, boop. And you're like, wait a minute, I gotta talk about that. And what he said was that selective outrage was sometimes, you'll get one person to do something, and honey, we on our bandwagon. We ready to cancel them. We throwing them out the church like the bishop did. We doing all of the things to him. And then it'll be somebody else, and we'll be like, oh, well, it wasn't that much. They didn't really mean it. And so really he kind of set up a lot of things to talk about his experiences. God bless him. But that was something that stuck with me. That selective outrage that we often have, and it depends on who did the thing. So for all of y'all, do not shoot me. Go ahead on over to watch Chris, because Chris has said, if y'all rocking Michael Jackson, but you got a problem with R. Kelly, this may or may not fall under selective outrage. That's all we are. And
Yeah, that
maybe
was.
to you, one song is better than the other. That's all we're gonna say for that. So
I'm just saying, Karen, you and I, we be operating in the prophetic flow here on the Unhinged
yeah,
Radio show live,
absolutely.
and we had said that last week that we was trying to cancel culture, and here come Bishop Chris Rock with the finishing word for the conference, at the comedy
Oh,
conference. He was at the
yes,
comedy conference just schooling people on how to
I
do
love
it,
it. I
according
love
to
it.
the size of his bank
We
account.
have a
Okay,
moment.
notice. No, he did it according to the size of his bank account. Okay, and that's where I'm gonna leave it right there. Now
Some of
look.
y'all gonna miss that, but I caught it. So
You
let it go and flow according
all right?
as of his because he did also say, beginning years, this isn't what you wanted. He didn't have nothing to offer then, but now he knoweth some things. Want to talk about the things that he has noticed over time. So I did feel attacked in some of those moments as he was talking about the selective outrage. I'm not gonna say in which moments I felt attacked, but it was a couple of them. It's like, hold up, partner, wait, hold up. that joke. That's enough of that. But I love that we get the opportunity to see people build and grow in their craft. You know, Chris Rock is not for everybody. It's fine. We talk about it because that's what we watch. But if certain ones of his language or words that he used vex you in your spirit, don't worry. We're gonna be over there laughing it up.
Okay.
You ain't got to worry about yourself. But he brought up a lot of things, and a lot of
stuff.
What were some thoughts? I know we talked about the selective outrage. Was it anything else tilted that kind of stuck with you? Like, okay, Chris.
You know, Chris. You know, of course, go back to the children. His children are rich, and his children is rich. And what else can I say about that? His children are rich off the work performed by the sweat of his brow. So they don't have the same life experience that he has. I really enjoyed how he broke down, how to identify what type of neighborhood you in by the amount of women you see working or the amount of men you see not working or working. Okay. So, I'm like, he kept it 100. And he let us know that if you roll up into that neighborhood where you see the men not working out there doing prison push-ups, playing dominoes, smoking Newports on the corner with their friends, you may not necessarily be in the safest of place. So, I got quite a few chuckles off of that there, because it was the realest thing ever. Okay.
I agree.
We have been blessed to pull ourselves up and out of some of the more urban environments. So, baby, I must admit, we done moved on up to the bougie side of life, and we not trying to go there where we know we have to lock our doors just to drive from one next. We're older and we're wiser, as is our brother Chris Rock. He has grown from his encounter with a Shook Smith.
Yes.
So not only did we get to enjoy. What's that, Karen? You got something else to add to Shook Smith? That was funny.
She said several times, I am not trying to upset any more rappers. So.
Okay, no more rappers. And he also mentioned that his mother taught him not to fight in front of white people. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the dial on that, because I felt him in my shana now when he had said that. So
I feel like we got that last.
We caught that quick. We knew what that was about. For the people who don't know that never had that conversation, some of us knew what it was on Oscar night when the slap heard around the world happened. We knew why he held. He held his composure according to the size of his bank account and how he plans to continue to enlarge the monetary amount.
Keeping the bag.
He's protecting that bag. Protecting that bag. So we got to enjoy some more.
Gotcha.
Queen Chandelier herself.
I need some more, so you're gonna have to catch me up. I think I did like 10 minutes, and then I was like traveling, so I only got 10 minutes of our sister, but I promise I'm gonna go back. Yes.
I need you to go back and enjoy the comedic stylings of the ever so graceful and classy Queen Chandelier some more. Shout out to Jersey's own from Trenton, New Jersey. I don't want to spoil it too much for you, Karen, but she did issue a challenge to the eyelash wearers of the world that gave me a deep from the belly type laugh when she challenged the young ladies who were rocking them lashes to make sure that the height of their heels matched the height of their lashes. because it just don't make no sense for you to be all fancy up top, but when you look down bottom, you got on some flats. That don't necessarily go together, according to Queen Samore. So I really appreciated her commentary, just because it's been what, at least 2 years at least, that we have been engulfed in the caterpillar on top of your eyelids craze that has. So yeah, some
now,
more.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna add to the phenomenon, and I don't know whether she talked about it or not, but I did a quick stint through the Atlanta, Georgia area, and with those lashes, may not have always had the heels. Sometimes they had the fuzzy slippers on, but it appears that we have unicorns walking around in onesies these days of a certain age, and you know, I'm not against a good jumpsuit, but I'm talking about like a leotard onesie with the big old lashes. And I just had questions like, was the Soul Circus coming through? I had missed it. I think I missed the Soul Circus, but I'm sure gonna catch up on some more, because she was talking about way more than that. She did talk a little bit, I know, about pandemic time and how we're on the other side of that, and what we should be thinking about in the interim. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch up on all that she said. But anything else that kind of was a highlight? I don't mind you breaking it all out.
No,
For
I'm
me,
not gonna
I'm
do it
just
because
gonna
I
go
need
the
you.
last longer.
I'm just gonna need you to go ahead and watch that, Karen, and we'll have an off-air conversation. Chuckles off of
I'm
everything that
gonna
she
be
said
on
because
my
she shared a lot.
investigative reporting. I'm gonna be on my investigative reporting mode as I watch some more. But now the comedians, I think, had our attention over this past week or so, because somebody else had a special as well that I got to watch and thoroughly cut up as
Girl,
we watch the comedic stylings of none other than Marlon Wayans, Deadpool. Now I love it
Karen.
because the title of his comedy special is God Loves Me. And you got to go ahead and watch it, and he's going to tell you why God loves him. But he talked a lot about the connection between he and Chris Rock, and how all that transpired over all of the past years, decades, actually. He said about 20 years that this has been going on. And he realized that on that day in March 2022, around 10:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, some other something specific, not Pacific, but specific.
Pacific. He said it was okay.
That part. That he realized for sure that God loves him. And I felt that in my shanana. If any of y'all ever, have heard of a moment where somebody says, like, I know this was the moment that God showed out and he loved me. And I promise you, that is what I felt for Marlon as he was remembering the account of where he was and what he was doing when the slap came. And why? Now, the funniest part for me, he told a lot of stories about his career, some things that he didn't do. He didn't think that he would ever, come back to stand-up comedy. Stuff I didn't even know Marlon did. All the writing that he did, and the production and the directing and whatnot. I was surprised by that. But then he said, y'all know, this is my favorite part, that we got a couple of family members that we keep hidden away for such a time that if we call them, don't nobody know about them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They ain't on no social media. You ain't gonna know how to find them. But one thing you gonna know for sure, it's about to be a ruckus up in here. Now, I have to agree with Marlon when he said it's too many of us weigh-ins. This imagine happening to somebody else. Like, and Chris Rock, it's a lot of them. So the fact is that this could have been something else. But that Marlon, he all right with me. That's all I could say. Like, he was always like in my mind, like extra silly, but I really enjoy him as an adult comedian because he know how to tell a joke. He got it. He got it. And it was good to hear his journey. But when he said, I know that God loves me, I felt
732.
Listen, I felt it. I was like, it was like a testimony service that he was telling all of this stuff, how good he knew everybody and how it was going to be and what was it going to be and how God set him up for him to know for sure. Because if you don't know for sure that God loves you, I don't know. Like, everybody needs that moment in that life to be like, oh no, you can't tell me nothing. I know the Lord loves me.
Because God loves me.
That part. Love you, Val. God loves you. You know it.
God loves you, Val. Yes, he do, girl. Yes, he do. Listen, let me tell you. I messed around in church because y'all know I wake up in the wee hours of the mornings and, talk to the Lord sometimes. And I have to view certain things before I even start my day, or it's just not going to happen. Consistency. Okay, so I'll be trying to keep up with this segment. I got to make time to watch some stuff. So, man, listen, can I tell you, I probably woke up my neighbors 3 ways on each side of my house. The way I was cackling, listening to the masterful comedian, Marlon Wayans. He's very, very animated. And I must say, each and every time he got a little physical, I was like, well, now you're not young no more, Marlon. You got to be careful jumping on them stools and everything. But yes, I cried laughing. And, of course, y'all know that's why we left him, for last in the conversation. Because, again, 15 minutes straight, I cackled and then was concerned I still might have to hit a soprano note. So I got to be careful with how I'm laughing up in my throat piece. But yes, if you haven't, seen the Marlon Wayans special, find it. We ain't telling you where it's at. If you haven't seen Samora's comedy special, find it. We ain't telling you where that's at. But Chris Rock, we done already told y'all because, again, this was groundbreaking work. It was a first for Netflix. Y'all know where to find him. We already know many of y'all got them crack fire sticks and can find whatever you want to view anytime, any place. But I'm going to mind my business and drink my water. Hold on.
We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, just check your subscriptions. Make sure that the prices is with the prices that you expected to pay. Because also, reach out to your cell phone companies because some of y'all is logging on to other people's when you could have your own. That is your public service announcement. Deadpool.
All right. Thank you again for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm your girl, Tilted Halo, sitting in with my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. We're about to go on and move the conversation right along. And I need to know some things. Karen, what's really going on? Can you make me feel better about that?
What's really going on? What's really going on? What's really going on?
Ricky, what's really going on? What's really going on? Hey. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's gonna be. Listen. Y'all already know we about to get into.
Listen, we got some things to talk about.
We got a couple things to talk about because I like to do. We like to keep up with things as they happen in the world here on the show. Thank you for tuning in to the conversation on tonight. But I was watching something this morning, and I don't know, somewhere it just dropped in my spirit. Yo, what happened to the Shanquella Robinson case, right? So of course I let my fingers do the walking, and I started, look up some information, and I found an article, people.com, People Magazine, for those of y'all that don't know, and the headline actually reads, "Family calls for justice in the death of Shanquella Robinson, allegedly killed by a friend on Mexico vacation." The family of a North Carolina woman who was allegedly beaten to death while on a Mexican getaway with 6 others late last year is pleading for the arrest of her killer. The parents of Shanquella Robinson, along with family attorney Ben Crump, spent Friday in Washington, D.C., demanding President Joe Biden and the U.S. Department of State diplomatically intervene in the investigation into their daughter's alleged murder. So we're gonna fast forward in this story because many of you are familiar with this, and it left us all in shock and awe when we first heard it. This young lady had gone on vacation with some of her alleged friends down in beautiful Mexico. Miss Robinson was busy establishing her own legacy of greatness when she chose to take this trip vacation with her friends. A video surfaced. After it was reported to her parents by those same friends who traveled with her that she had perished from alcohol poisoning. The video again surfaced, and we saw where she was being severely beaten by a young woman while a young man who was off to the side videotaping the abusive situation, as well as offering his own commentary. In that video, of course, we saw that Robinson didn't even try to defend herself. And it was later found out in an autopsy report that, of course, she died from severe neck, head, and spine trauma. Fast forward, we saw where it seemed like immediate action was being taken. Those involved in that trip were being extradited back to Mexico. And to this date, no one has been properly prosecuted for the loss of this beautiful young soul. And from additional information I was able to come across this morning, the extradition of one additional person involved in this situation is what's holding up the final judgment and justice being delivered on this case. Karen, talk to me, girl.
It is so sad, and I am so sorry to continue to hear just all that's going on with this. But I agree with the parents. It don't take this long to charge someone with something. Like, they knew what was going on. I'm sure they don't have the full video of everything that's there, but it's so much that could just be garnered from this that it is crazy. It is crazy to think that it has been over 100 and some odd days. So 18 weeks, we done went through fall, winter, and it's about to be spring. And y'all ain't arrested nobody? Come on. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the reasons why we talk about equality in everything that goes on with the justice system, because that I agree wholeheartedly with the parents that it should be something. We extradited people. We done sent them back to Mexico. I don't know what they doing while they over there if you ain't charging them.
Girl, I don't know either. And to quote MC Light, the prophetess herself, I cram to understand why we have not been successful at implementing the charges. And I believe the charge is femicide in this case. Hopefully, the family will see some form of justice in this situation in the extremely near future. Because I could not imagine what it would be to not only have to live this experience, but to live this experience in the aftermath, when it just seems like the authorities and the state don't care. I mean, if I was her parents, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And to allude to something you said, Karen, this is hey, this is the writing on the wall when it
Yeah.
comes to the swiftness in by which these cases are resolved when it comes to international borders being
Mm-hmm.
crossed.
Yeah. And it's interesting because they do have information. Like there's like been confirmation that there's a court order, there is an arrest warrant, but now they in another country. And that was back in November that they reported that. So to me, that was like swift. That happened quickly for them to get to a place, and then they had to wait for people to, get to where they needed to do. And now, like, a lot of this stuff is also kind of putting more eyes on Mexico, and having people ask the question, are we safe to travel with so many different things in such a long time to get to an answer in all of these things? So it's definitely a sad situation.
Yeah, well, when it comes to girl, that question, is it safe to travel to Mexico? A perfect segue for the next piece of this
Yeah.
conversation. I'm sure many of you have heard it. If not, allow us to enlighten you with this yet another unfortunate headline involving some folks, people of color, who journeyed into Mexico themselves. We recently heard the news report that there were 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico. And I'm actually going to be referencing the headline that I read in the New York Post that 2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped after a shootout in Mexico have been found dead. All right. So, yeah, let me read that again. 2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped after a shootout in Mexico were found dead. And looking into this story, we had 4 individuals travel to Mexico from South Carolina. Their names are listed in this
Mm-hmm.
article. Of course, y'all, I'm telling y'all where it is so y'all can go find it for yourself, get to know their names and lift them up um, as you're led in prayer, because this is trauma, man. They went on over into Mexico so that one of the young ladies could actually have a cosmetic surgery procedure. And it's
Lord.
been reported that they crossed the border into Mexico and were mistaken. I believe I saw it written for Haitian drug smugglers. So, of course, they were surrounded in their vehicle by the cartel at gunpoint and forced into the back of a van. And again, it's being reported that 2 of those people are perished. They're gone. They ain't with us no more, all behind a tummy tuck. One of them now is
Mm-mm-mm.
seriously injured, and one of them is physically okay at this point. And notice I'm real clear on saying physically okay, because baby Karen. Now we're gonna have a time to kill moment with this one. You ready, Karen? Close your eyes.
I'm
All
ready.
right. We close your eyes, and I want you to envision me, you, and our good girlfriend Tanya walking down the streets of New Orleans. Can you see it, sis?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could see it.
Can you see it? Now, sis, I would like you to go into your mind's imagination and envision a white van pulling up, snatching the 3 of us into a van, never to be seen no more by anybody that knows, and loves us. Did that give you any type of feeling, sister?
Yeah,
What are you
that's a
feeling
rough
right
one.
now? Yeah.
No,
So, you know,
that's a rough one because I've traveled to Mexico a couple of times, and it's an interesting thing because it is a dangerous place to visit. Some places that are more dangerous than others, and I know that's a trend. We will go internationally, save some coins to get a tummy tuck, but listen. Just go ahead on, become an influencer. Let these folks pay different things. It's too much. It's too much. Anybody got time for all of the foolishness that's connected with that, and the fact that lives are lost over what should have been, a quick easy in, quick easy out is so sad. I have my nephew, technically my favorite nephew, my biological nephew, who he goes to Mexico every year. And he has a story about almost being abducted and how he thwarted just a bad situation by being quick on his feet and moving out of it. And for us, we're like, wait a minute, what? Okay, you can't go back. And of course he go back every year, so it don't matter. But you have to be vigilant when you are out here, especially in these international streets. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. Like, this is not I've arrived on paradise and I'm automatically expected to come back, because there's so many different things. This was mistaken identity that they came there just looking for a quick procedure, quick in, quick out, so I could be ready for bikini season. Y'all gonna get all these stretch marks and rolls come, because I'm not risking my life over this here. And it is not to make light of it at all, because it's just so sad that a small thing becomes a tragedy for a family who probably wasn't even thinking, expecting it. It's like, oh, okay, you going to where? Okay, that's fine. But even I didn't really have to close my eyes to imagine us on the streets of New Orleans, because we did it for real in real life. And you know what else we didn't do? We didn't play no games out there in them streets either. So you gonna walk next to us, you gonna get side-eyed till you walk past. Why? Because you about to get bounced on by three lovely ladies, okay? Just gonna be a different kind of Brady Bunch. Okay, I don't say it too much, but listen, you gotta fight for your life.
It could be whatever.
When you are traveling and and now like they got video, it's broad daylight. It wasn't even nighttime to say, oh, well, be vigilant in the evening. You have to be vigilant all day long. Life depends on it. So in the past, because I might just have another reason to eat the cake, because you ain't just gonna be flinging. It's gonna be a big sack of potatoes you trying to with.
You can't snatch me.
Good and bold and broad daylight.
I'm solid.
You can't snatch. You gotta like the iron. They brace for that. Like you gonna need a belt. Let me help you. Okay, you're gonna need one of them belts. You're probably gonna need somebody to spot you. You coming over here trying to pick me up off the ground. Okay, because I'm not leaving the ground no way. So it's gonna be a struggle just for that. It's like, wait a minute, my feet is not. I believe that. On Christ the solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. I mean that. Y'all ain't coming over here. You not lifting me up. This gonna be a struggle and a fight. I apologize for my skinny sisters that get flung around. I'm sure it's a nice experience, but if my feet come off this ground, it's a problem. It's a problem. Nope. I mean that thing. We bearing down because
we solid with it. We here. We here with it. Listen, what squared up? What it could be whatever. Listen,
every piece and peach cobbler. You gon' know you was working out when you got me in a truck somewhere. No, and no.
No, we not getting snatched while trying to get snatched. For people who don't necessarily even matter, my life matters, my health matters, and not for nothing, this is it. This is fearfully, this is
Listen,
wonderfully made.
listen.
God ain't make no mistakes. He loves me just as I am. And if the public would like the edited version, that's their business. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I mean,
Uh, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
no.
We just gonna be out here shining, thick and fine, and all summer long. How about that? Because somebody love it.
And being
And
safe.
for those of you
Yep.
in the listening audience who are of a more curvy stature, and you've been blessed to have the experience to be flung around and picked up like a little old rag doll, girl, you had fun, didn't you? And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Because while we are grown, we are trying to make sure that we keep our mouths in order in a certain way in the year 2023 and beyond.
Hallelujah.
Um, okay, so again, vanity can be the downfall of a nation. I believe we've seen that documented in history, when the care and concern about what others think, about, what we look like, controls us. We ain't about that life. I saw a
No.
news article with a mannequin where the young lady had on some sportswear with all her curves on display, and I saw one of the comments underneath that simply said, "Ooh, that's me." The average woman is a size what 14 in the United America, and y'all already know what Miss Versa Lee Kelly raised her granddaughter to know is don't nobody want a bone but a dog. And I'm gonna leave that right there. You want Scooby? Do it, I'm sorry. Let me leave that alone. This has been the Unhinged Radio Show. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims. I want to go ahead and take the time to say thank you again to our guest for this evening, our sister Free of the Simply Free Little Talk Show, broadcasting multiple platforms. Thank you again for joining us, sis. We're fitting to get to the better part, the gravy. I like gravy on my rice, and we got a big old bowl of rice,
Baby.
and I need some gravy. So y'all, get ready, get ready, get ready to receive yet another reflection of purpose from our very own in-house certified master life coach, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. Take it away, sis.
Listen, excited that you are here with us today for a good reminder. Always close out the show with a nugget for you. Today, we want to remind you to win. Now, many of you know we done already talked about the eating the cake. I can't till we secure the win. But what does that mean when we say we're playing to win? Well, for our brothers, we love you, but tonight I want to talk to our sisters tonight to make sure you understand that during this international global women, it's important for us to know what pieces we are playing with. So when we talk about embrace equality, when we talk about where is it that we want to go, we have to be strategic about the moves that we're making. Loads of us love the opportunity to say, okay, we're on a girls trip. We see how some of those things kind of end. So we have to be vigilant on the legacy that we're looking to build, vigilant on the plans that we make, things that we allow ourselves to participate in. Why? Because when we play in the time for the losses, that means we got to be smart. We got to figure out. And sometimes when one thing that Tilted and I do when we travel, it's like, okay, wait, you going where? Now you later, because this is my watch. I got to get you back to safety. And some of us have to understand that in our lives, we still have to take that opportunity and grab a sister. And this for brothers. Brothers grab a brother, sisters grab a brother. Make sure that we're sharing love and encouragement with those who are around us, because even though we're playing to win, there are others that might be in your camp that's trying to say, if you got those folks who are trying to sabotage, you have to appropriately identify them. They could be with. Now, I'm not saying take nobody out, but sometimes you got to take people off the list because in the same direction as you. And it's okay. Why? Because the winner circle ain't people no way. So you don't need an entire entourage for where it is you are going. You are playing to win. So you want to check your surroundings, see where you are, make sure you are strategic that you take to get to the win and secure the options that are right. A lot of us is March now. We done long left resolutions in January. Whatever it was we was gonna do, now we rethinking, figure out, well, how do I still get to a win? We want to confirm with you, make sure that you are and that the people in your corner are playing as opponents, not defense against you. These are just a few nuggets on how you trying to push by, because time is about to come. Springtime is also a time of elevation and rebirth. We're moving into that season and moving out of this hibernation. Before you next move, make sure you are measuring where it is you want to go. For the day, playing to win. We here for it.
Yes, ma'am, and we are most definitely in it to win it. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm Tilted Halo. This is my girl, Karen Sims. And of course, I got to give you that Just Be outro. And tonight, I want to go ahead and encourage each and every one of you to be tenacious. Yes, be tenacious as you pursue each and every win of your life. And for those of y'all who are not too familiar with the different uses for the word, let me go ahead and give you a couple swift definitions. To be tenacious is holding fast, characterized by keeping a firm hold. To be highly retentive, to be persistent, stubborn, or obstinate, adhesive or sticky, viscous or gluttonous, holding together, cohesive, and not easily pulled asunder. Just be tenacious as you secure the win. This is the Unhinged Radio Show Live. Thank you again for tuning in, and we are out. Ciao.